Hi, thanks for joining in today. Today I want to talk about the fact that you shouldn't be shy to pursue your dreams. Don't be too scared or too afraid to pursue your dreams, to go after your dreams, to showcase your talents. And my focus is going to be on two stories that I have come across in my lifetime. One was more recently, and the other one is from a couple of years back. And I just want to go in and talk about these two stories before I bring out the lessons that we can learn. But first, I want to give you a Bible verse that has kind of informed this message and has been a great source of inspiration to me as a person. And that is from the book of Proverbs, chapter 18, verse 16. The Bible says, a man's gift makes room for him and brings him before kings, or brings him before great men. So your gift is going to make great room for you, and it's going to bring you before kings. But first, there are a couple of things you need to know about your gifts, your talents, whatever you may call them. And today I want to talk about those two stories. The first one is about the story of a guy I met back in the day when I started journalism. I was working for a community radio station in Kumbu, and I happened to come across this young guy who was building a helicopter. This was a fancy project, I would say, and it struck me, and so I decided to do a story about this. And getting to know this gentleman and talking to him, I realized that he was going through so many difficulties, in that people were mocking at him, people were making fun of his project, and I did this story for him, and that's how many people came to know about this story. But before that, just this project itself, anybody who passed around this area in Kumbwa in the day would, the project would announce itself because it was unusual. It was something that no one had done before, something no one had thought about doing in the community before. But this guy was daring enough to start to build a helicopter. To many, it was just, madness. They thought this guy had gone crazy, had gone nuts, he had gone out of his mind. But for him, it was a dream. It was a great talent he was showcasing. And ask about where he is today. He is living his dream, building actual helicopters in the United States of America. That is someone who wasn't afraid or shy to showcase his talent. The second story I want to bring to you today is the story of a young Congolese man. I think he should be probably 16 or 17. And he has been famed for doing commentaries. He just poses himself in the community and gives football commentaries, and he's been quite fluent in doing this in French. And I don't know the backstory, but I can imagine that people thought he was crazy, he was going out of his mind doing this. But he kept doing this, and you could see the energy, the passion, because he was quite emotional when he would give these commentaries, and he would paint a picture he couldn't see. Probably he didn't even have money to go watch a real football match, but he would create these imaginary football games and give commentaries to those games. And ask where he is today. He's just been received by the president of FIFA, and he's been awarded a scholarship and is probably going to start studying towards his dream to actually give a commentary in an actual football match. Don't be surprised in the next 5, 6, 7 years down the road, you're watching your favorite game and it's this gentleman giving commentaries. Why do I bring these two stories? It's because there are thousands and thousands of stories like this out there, and probably maybe you have a story like this. You have a great talent, you have a dream, you have a vision, but you are scared to showcase your talent. You are afraid to go out there and showcase your talent. Maybe you are shy. Why do we get afraid, or why are we shy to showcase our talent sometimes? And I want to point out two reasons at least why people get shy, or people are afraid to showcase their talents. One of them is fear of failure. We're afraid we're going to fail, and we're afraid that this is not going to look good on us. So it just makes us too shy to go out there and showcase our talent. And so that's the very first reason, the fear of failure, which to me is a real thing. Like, people are going through this every day. They are afraid they're going to fail, so they don't even start in the first place. And the second reason is the fear of criticism, which I've already touched on, and as you've already heard in those two stories, that most often we fear what people might say, the kind of criticism we might receive from people we we hold dear in our hearts, or maybe it's just people in our communities. And I tell you what, for those two stories, I'm sure that they had struggles with criticisms. I know at least for the first story of the guy who was building the helicopter, that there was great criticism. The story is told that he actually had to, march past before the government officials with his helicopter and the guys he had been working with. And so, they tried to do some maneuvers and it didn't go as planned, and people, rushed them off the stage and they laughed at them, they jeered and they, mocked at them for being daring. And so that was great criticism. It was shameful. And was that reason enough for them to give up? No. But I know there are many of you watching, probably you're giving up on your dreams because people have criticized you. I'm coming today to encourage you. Don't give up. Don't be afraid. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep showcasing your dreams. Keep living your dreams. Keep showcasing your talent, because you don't know where this is going to lead you. And why should you continue to showcase your talent in spite of criticism and in spite of the fact that you might fail at times? There are two reasons I'm going to advance to you today. The very first one is that because that's what you love to do and you feel called to do. If you love doing what you're doing, no matter what people are going to say, keep doing it. My friend, keep going out every day and living your dream. Keep pushing yourself beyond the limits that society has set for you, and keep being the very best of yourself as you go out every day. Aspire for success, keep dreaming bigger than even your own thoughts and imaginations can hold and contain. And just do it because you love it. Do it because you're passionate about it. And so showcase your dreams, showcase your talents. Let the world see what you carry in you and what you're capable of doing. And in this way, it's going to fan in those great drives of motivation within you, and you will find yourself living your dream. Whether people love it or not, live your dream in your own terms and lead your own life that you are carving out for yourself. In other words, carve your own niche and stick with it. The very second reason why you should showcase your talent is that showcasing your talent brings exposure. And this is going to be very key for this lesson today. It's going to bring exposure. And let's go back to the scripture. It says that a man's gift will make room for him and bring him before kings. Now your gift is not going to make room for you unless people can see it, unless people can know about it, unless people maybe can read about it. And so you have to showcase your talent. You have to showcase it because it's going to bring great exposure. We're living at a time that for anything happening, whether good or bad, people are going to be sticking out their mobile phones and they will start to record in real time. And because of that, your story is going to spread. And because of that, many more people, tens of thousands of people, if not millions of people, will come to know about maybe your act of bravery in coming out to live your talent and not being afraid or being shy. And so for this very reason, I'm encouraging you, if you have a talent, if you have a vision, if you have something that you feel is a gift that you have, don't be afraid to go out there and showcase it to the world. When I say showcase it, that means just live it. Live it every day. Practice what you've been gifted or you've been equipped or you feel called to do. Don't be afraid. Don't think about what people are going to say, because that can be demotivating sometimes. And so just go out there because it's going to give you exposure. The guy who was building a helicopter in Kumbu, when I did the story, many people read the story, and CRTV, the Cameroon Radio Television, came and did a documentary on him because he was doing something out of the ordinary, something people didn't expect that a common village boy could start to do. And he was passionate about it, and because of his passion, there was exposure that began to surface and people started to talk about it. And before long, foreigners, people from various countries started to show interest in his project, until he actually got an opportunity to travel abroad and started to live his dream of manufacturing real helicopters. When I spoke with him, I was surprised that this guy didn't even have ordinary level, talk less of a university degree, but he was passionate about this, and all he needed was his passion to study the things that were not even taught in classrooms in Cameroon, and that are probably not even still being taught as we speak. Because of his passion, he went out and started to do this, build a miniature helicopter. And this helicopter, I watched it even attempt to a takeoff. Okay, so this was daring, but this was also courageous for him to come past all the criticism and all the failures. There were times he didn't even have the parts he needed, so he would struggle and he would raise funds, and people who believed in his dream, they would give him money for this project, and he kept doing this. I don't want to belabor the story, but this is a story we can learn from. I don't know what your gifts are, I don't know what your particular gift is, but you can capitalize on that and you can start to live it even in your own little corner. Don't think people are not going to see it, but just think about the joy and fulfillment it brings to you. Focus on that for a moment and keep doing that, because it brings satisfaction. And the last part of my video today, I wanted to talk about the fact that you will encounter challenges when you are seeking to showcase your dreams, your talent, your gift, but keep doing it. Keep doing it. That's the very first thing. Be consistent. Don't give up, because from these two stories we've seen today, they never gave up, and therefore they got rewarded for sticking around, for their patience, for their perseverance, and for their endurance. This paid off at the end. And the second thing is that you will encounter challenges, but build a network. Reach out to like-minded people who are doing the same thing as you, and just seek to learn from their experiences, learn the best practices they have, doing what they've been doing, and just share your experiences so that you can get emboldened to do what you are called to do, what you're passionate about doing. And the last thing today, and on this point of challenges, is that you have to give it time and hard work. It may not happen today, it may not happen tomorrow, it may not happen next week, or even in the next coming weeks, months or years, but keep doing it and give it time, but also keep putting in hard work and keep going. Don't give up, and when you do this, you are going to find your own satisfaction, and you are going to break through in due time. Again, I want to end with this Bible verse that says that there is a time for everything. There is a time for you to put in all the hard work and to labor and to feel discouraged sometimes, but there is a time for success. There's coming a time that you're going to succeed, and when you look back, you're not going to be able to feel discouraged or to beat yourself again about the struggles you had, but you're going to only see how those experiences and encounters you had led to your success, and people are going to celebrate you. You're going to be happy about yourself, and you would have realized your potential in your own generation. And so be encouraged, my dear friends. Go out there and live your dream, and don't be shy. Don't think about the criticisms and the discouragements that you're going to come across, and don't be afraid to fail. Dare to dream, and indeed, in daring to dream, many have realized their dreams. And I end on this note. Long before I started my career in journalism, I remember I bought an analog tape recorder, and I would record myself giving commentaries, just reporting stories that didn't exist, and I was just doing this because I love doing it. And a friend joined me, and we did this, and we started to grow, and we became comfortable in doing this. And I remember giving football commentaries that mesmerized many people. People were excited to hear me give commentaries, live commentaries during games, and people were excited to hear me give television commentaries for football games. And the whole community in Kumbu at the time and the whole boy division were relying on my commentaries on TV. I became a household name just from, using my little tape recorder in my room to just practice, to getting comfortable. And you know where that took me. Many of you know the story. I worked for the BBC, right? So that was a dream. And it started from me doing little things and growing gradually to getting exposure and eventually living my dream. And I can say that I have lived, to fulfill what I dreamed in my life. And I can encourage you to dare to do this as well. And it will pay off big time. Thank you for always sticking around and getting these messages, and I trust that it's not just gonna be about you watching this and getting excited about the experiences and the stories we bring, but it's about you owning these stories and seeking to learn from them and to grow and to live and to fulfill your own dream. May God bless you as you continue to pursue your own dreams and your own passions. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.